your ruler.
Salt.
Your lands, your possessions, your very lives will gladly be given in tribute to me.
What's up, guys? We're going to be checking out the Marvel's big changes to the MCU. Ooh, big changes. We already know what those big changes are. You know, might as well be a straight up, you know, what is it called? HRT? Estrogen injections straight into the MCU. Anyways, let's jump into it.
Well, it looks like Marvel Studios could be making some pretty big changes to the MCU, and of course this could be either really good or, if executed improperly, could be bad. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and the changes that Marvel Studios are making and have actually currently made already have fans kind of concerned, but don't worry, I think that this is actually a really good thing. Now, what is Marvel Studios going to be changing? Well, one, they're going to be changing the frequency that they
Fans are kind of concerned, but because Disney pays me and I get invited to all their premieres and their events, I think this is going to be kind of a good thing.
project to the MCU, and no, I'm not just talking about the series on Disney Plus.
No,
what we're
no
talking
offense,
about
Cosmic
today
Wonder. I got
are
nothing against you.
specials. Marvel Studios has begun
you,
releasing what they call specials in the MCU. And here's the thing, sometimes specials could be extremely important, but sometimes they might not mean anything at all. However, all specials will be canon to the MCU, and this is something that Marvel Studios is doing a lot more in the future. Now, what are specials? Well, they can be many different things, and I think they're an excellent idea, but I can understand why fans are worried, and of course, we'll talk about that in this video. Now, specials can be anything from the I Am Groot series that we got on Disney Plus to Werewolf by Night, which is about to come out in a few days. It can be the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and it could also be some type of a short film introducing a new character to the MCU. Now, all of these, which I mentioned, are and will be canon to the MCU, meaning they take place inside the MCU storyline. And like I said, each project could have a very big impact on the MCU, from very small to a very large impact. But let's be clear, this is a very big deal, and specials will have a serious impact on the MCU as a whole. And if you're thinking that they don't matter or the stories won't really connect,
listen, by name alone, by name and title alone, a lot of these projects look freaking amazing, and I'm super excited for it. By name alone, I'm super excited what they do with, you know, I don't know much about that Werewolf by Night thing, but I'll check that out. I love werewolves. Silver Surfer, Nova, the new Captain America. I mean, Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier was so good that I am looking forward to the next Captain America. There's so many things on that list that look good, but I just have a feeling in my gut that they're going to turn every single project into some cornball mess like they did She-Hulk, and these specials are just going to be an excuse to make it more cornball, more artistic liberties, and milk it to the bone, milk, and make it super corny. I can already see it with some of these specials. Like, they're gonna be doing musicals with these characters. They're gonna be doing all sorts of artsy fartsy stuff. I don't know.
well, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has already came out and confirmed that specials will indeed have a very serious and big impact on the MCU, and once you see Werewolf by Night in a couple of days, you'll realize why. Also, here's another perfect example. James Gunn has already confirmed that the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is canon and is quite important. It will contain very important info that you will need to know, meaning you'll have to watch the holiday special to know what is happening in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 film. James Gunn specifically said that this is MCU canon. It takes place between Thor: Love and Thunder and the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So these are a big deal, and according to a new report from the CosmicCircus.com, Marvel Studios is considering doing a lot more specials. And once you see this, I believe that you'll think that these specials are a really good idea. In theory, of course. Again, it's all how it's executed, which of course we'll talk about, but let's first talk about how this could potentially be bad. It's pretty obvious that a lot of MCU fans have been complaining about the quality of Phase 4. And to be fair, the series on Disney Plus started with Phase 4, and some of them were really good, but some were kind of just okay. Now, some people can attribute this to that's just how it is, you're liking some things but not liking the other things. However, some people say that Marvel is kind of putting out too much content right now, focusing more on quality and not quantity. Phase 4 has introduced the Disney Plus shows, plus we're getting 3 to 4 movies a year. This is a lot more content. Plus, we do hear the news about the visual effects artists being overworked, and I can see that, especially with all of the new content that came in Phase 4. However, I think if Marvel can fix a few things and make one thing very, very clear, this could be a really good thing. More content with specials in a very different way could very much work. I had the opportunity to watch Werewolf by Night last week, and I can tell you that this special really works. I thought the 1 hour special was fantastic. This is a new way to introduce characters into the MCU that will go on to affect the larger MCU. And I actually found it quite refreshing that it wasn't exactly an origin story, and it wasn't a really long, dragged out story either. They kind of just introduced the character and left. They showed us who the character was, they showed us what he was about, they had a really great story which did wrap up in the special, and then they ended it. Now, they did introduce other characters like Man-Thing and Elsa Bloodstone, and they're going to go on to have a big impact on the MCU too. However, this was still very much a Werewolf by Night story that involved these other great characters. This could open up the MCU to a much bigger, greater side. For example, for the MCU, Werewolf by Night is truly kicking off the supernatural side. We thought it started with Moon Knight, and it kind of did, but once you see this, you'll understand. And this is what Kevin Feige had to say about the special. He said, "We wanted to explore entirely new characters and entirely new sides of the MCU with this unusual, fun, and frightening spin on the supernatural. And Kevin Feige did this through a special, and it worked. So these specials can be a very great thing, and they can be very important, and some not matter really at all, but still connect to the MCU, and can still be very, very enjoyable if Marvel Studios gets one thing right. Let me explain what that is. The perfect example is the I Am Groot series. It was fun, and it was what we expected. We knew that it wasn't going to be a really big show. We knew it wasn't really going to impact the MCU that much, but it was MCU canon, and it was fun. It was a fun time. That's what we expected. Is it MCU canon? Yeah. Does it really matter to the MCU? No, not really. Well, in Groot's case, kind of, but still not really to the overall MCU. Does Werewolf by Night matter? Yes, it does. It introduces characters to each other and shows clear relationships and implications, but at the same time, it is a...
These are the MCU shows that I'm still working on that I either haven't watched or haven't finished. I still haven't watched Hawkeye. I still haven't watched I Am Groot. I'm still working on Miss Marvel. It's almost finished. I think I only have 2 episodes left. And She-Hulk.
Which also opens up another really great thing that these specials can be used for. Marvel can make specific movies that they want to make and not really have to focus on the rest of the MCU, but still connect. In an interview with comicbook.com, director Giacchino talked about working with Marvel and making the film. He said, "Cameos never really came up. I mean, we talked a little bit about Blade, but in the end, it was like, you know what? If we're looking at this, and I always describe this as an episode of The Twilight Zone, you know, let's keep it contained. This is one night in the life of Jack and Elsa, and let's see what it's like. And I know everyone searches for connectivity, and we want this person in here and this, and I was like, no, let's just do this. It exists in the same world as all of these other things. It does, but let's not worry about that right now. We'll deal with that maybe someday. I don't know, but for right now, I wanted to tell you the story of one night in the life of these characters, and hopefully something that you could just drop in on, not having seen anything else, and just enjoy it for what it was. I personally really like this idea, and I think a lot of fans will as well. This is something that you don't have to watch anything else in the MCU to enjoy. I've heard a lot of people talking about how people have been skipping Disney Plus shows because they haven't really been enjoying them. However, they're kind of bummed because they do need to know what happened to know what's going to happen in the future of the MCU.
You know, I'm actually impressed that Cosmic Wonder even mentioned that at all. Because it's like a glimpse behind the veil of everything is okay, it's all not on fire, it's all okay. It's because I'm sure that he gets some sort of compensation from Disney. 'Cause he definitely gets invited to all the premieres. We know that much. But he just said, I've heard from a lot of people, they don't even watch the shows because they don't like them. They don't enjoy them. And it's like that he nailed it. It's like, it's unfortunate because they need, if they're going to continue, if they're going to watch any of these MCU movies, they need to know what happens. Because the shows are part of the continuity. And that's really the only reason I'm watching them. So that way I know what's actually happening whenever I watch an MCU movie, because all this other stuff happened in the shows in between. So kind of you're forced to watch them, not really, but also the another reason I'm watching them is to make these stupid videos. But anyways, but yeah, the shows really stink, dude. The only one that was really, let me see, which one of the shows that were good? Loki was good. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was good. And that's it. I haven't watched Hawkeye yet, so I can't speak on that. But all the rest of the shows have kind of sucked. I'm trying to not forget anything. I'm trying to think, is there any other shows that maybe I'm forgetting? Oh, WandaVision. Yeah. WandaVision was like, half of it sucked and the other half was okay. Like, the whole build up was boring as heck, like the whole sitcom crap. But so like I'll give half the show an okay. Not great, not great, but like mediocre. The other half was just like, can you hurry up and be done with this sitcom shit? Anyways.
And movies that connect with each other. So this is a standalone film. This is a standalone story, but at the same time has very, very big implications for the MCU and introduces new characters that we'll see down the road. This is why I actually really loved Werewolf by Night and why I love the idea of doing specials. If Marvel can level our expectations and let us know exactly what to expect. If we're going to get a show like I Am Groot that's just going to be silly and fun, they need to let us know, which they did before. However, when it comes to She-Hulk, my personal opinion is they marketed it kind of the wrong way. It's not really what they said it was going to be, which is why I think a lot of people actually aren't really enjoying it. This is why I think that expectations are a must from Marvel Studios, and marketing needs to be on point for what they're releasing. This has the potential to really expand the MCU.
If you go and watch the original trailer for She-Hulk, it didn't represent itself at all as like a comedy sitcom or whatever. It tried to portray itself as like an action show, as like a Daredevil slash Jessica Jones type show, is what the trailer tried to give off, and then it turned out to be not at all that. And here we are, we're not even getting Daredevil until I think it's the last episode. You don't even get Daredevil till the last episode, and that was the whole thing that they baited us into the show with, was keep watching because Wong and Abomination and Daredevil shows up.
They could use this to introduce characters that we really love, like Nova. We know a Nova project is coming. However, it hasn't really been clarified if that's going to be a Disney Plus show or a movie, or now it could even be a special. Now, some people might say, well, I want a full movie to introduce a character, and some people might say, well, I want a full series to introduce a character. But again, if the story is right, these specials can be really great. They could also be used to describe stories that are kind of taking place outside of the main MCU storyline. Again, they connect connect, but do they really matter? No, but they could be a lot of fun. So overall, I think specials could be a really great thing to the MCU if done properly, and of course, if Marvel sets these expectations. But at the same time, I understand how fans might be...
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how long are these specials gonna be before, like, how long are these specials that they're calling them specials and not just movies? Like, are they gonna be like one episode of one show? Are they gonna be like one episode of an MCU show? So it's gonna be like a 30-50 minute one thing by itself. So I don't know, man. But I don't know, shake my head, dude. Shake my head. Like, that Black Panther 2 trailer looked mediocre. I'm not looking forward to that movie at all. What's the other movie that's coming out? The other MCU movie that's coming out soon. I think that's the only one. There's no other MCU movies I'm looking forward to. Like, nobody wants Shuri as Black Panther. Nobody wants what's her name, Riri, as Iron Man or Ironheart or whatever her name is, Ironheart, right? We don't want these WNBA versions of characters. It's not misogynism, it's just biology. It just is. It just is what it is. And honestly, demographics wise, why are you pushing this on us? Demographics wise, shouldn't you cater stuff to the demographics of your consumer, right? I would say the majority of people who like superheroes are dudes, right? Also, the majority of the people that like superhero movies are also white. The demographics, statistics, right? That doesn't mean that you can't have characters like Black Panther and blah blah, but you shouldn't go out of your way to say, hey, you know what? Let's go to the lowest statistic part, and I would say like, we'll take this and we'll take that 1% and we'll force it on the majority of the percent, right? My point is this: the argument used all the time for race swapping and gender swapping is, for example, like with this past Little Mermaid debacle, they said, okay, well, the reason we're doing this is because we want little black girls to also believe that we want little black girls to identify with the mermaid and also believe that they can be princesses too. So that's what it's about. It's about being able to identify with the characters you like, right? And them also saying, okay, well, if you don't want this to happen, then what is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? Well, that's what's like so confusing. It's like, if it doesn't matter, then why does it matter enough to do it in the first place? And even you yourself are saying that the reason we like characters is because we like to be able to identify with them. But then when you change them completely, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're admitting, in a way, these corporations, you're admitting in a way that you're taking away characters that the majority of the demographics of your consumers can identify with, right? Not that it's impossible to enjoy a character that you can identify with. It's not. You can still, I can still enjoy Luke Cage without being black, you know? I can still enjoy all of Samuel L. Jackson's characters without being black. It's not impossible, but it just doesn't make sense, dude. And I know you guys are like, oh, it's not that deep, it's not that deep, but it's really cultural warfare, honestly. I think that their actions, like I said, about if their business, if it was about making money, they would want to market to their majority demographics, and they're not doing that. So it's like they have an agenda over, money. The money side is secondary, and because of that, it's more than likely purposeful cultural warfare. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, it just sucks. Back in like 2012, all the 2010s, or 2010s, whatever you call them, all of these movies are super exciting. Like the Avengers, Age of Ultron, Endgame, Infinity War. All of it was like, oh man, now it's like. It's like the only reason we watch these stupid frickin' movies and shows anymore is for that little dopamine hit of the special effects sequences. Oh, the special effects sequence. Oh, the special effects sequence is over now, and back to the shitty writing. I really feel like that's why the majority of us still watch these trash things. It's like, oh, the beautiful, spectacular, eye-dazzling fireworks of the special effects sequences tantalize us. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I didn't intend for it to be this long and this ranty and this preachy, but I appreciate it, you watching this anyways. And please like the video and support the channel. Helps me in the algorithm, because I'm already getting the woke mob filtering in with all the nonsense. So I'm sure the channel is going to be downranked. Hopefully the channel doesn't get banned or taken down. But anyways, also I appreciate you following me on Twitch, and peace out, guys. Peace out.